All right, friends, welcome back to the channel. Glazier's Great Outdoors. We're here with another trip to the Adirondacks, and I'm getting ready to put in. You can see the pond behind me here. We're heading up into St. Regis Canoe area. Hopefully catch some trout this weekend. Going to be 4 days, 3 nights, and got my boat here all loaded up, and gonna hit the water, and I got a little bit of paddling before my first portage. Got about I think about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles worth of portages to get to where I want to stay tonight. So it's about 11 o'clock. I had a real early start, which is why I didn't get too much footage of the drive up, because we started in the dark this morning about 5 o'clock. So we're gonna get in the boat and head out here and see if we can get to where I want to camp tonight. All right, we just made our first little portage. Just had to basically jump out and back in. The blackflies are starting to swarm, it looks like. In this pond, there was a bunch of huge largemouth bass right at the put in there. So probably not much for trout fishing in this one, but if somebody wanted to bass fish, boy, this would be a good one. All right, we're gonna get paddling here to our first big portage here, and then we'll be back with you. Man, it is just gorgeous out. And of course, just as I pull the camera out and I was about to say I haven't seen another person, and here comes a canoe right over at the end there. But that little mountain in the background there, and it's nice and quiet. Anyways. All right, friends. I wanted to try and bring you guys along on some of the portage trail this year. This video, I should say, because it's kind of a major part of the journey to get back to some of these more remote ponds that I like to stay at. And now I paddled through a pond on the way here that was loaded with big largemouth bass. Had open campsites, almost nobody on it, but I don't know, I'm maybe obsessed with brook trout a little bit. You guys that are into it, you'll understand. But anyway, I'm headed back here. I wanted to try and single carry all the portages, but I'm packed a little bit heavy this time. I got my frying pan with me, and an axe, a little axe, and some good food. No mountain house on this trip, so I realized very quickly I wasn't going to be able to single portage these longer ones. So I dropped the boat, took my pack and most of my gear about halfway down, and now I'm headed back to get the boat, and I'm just going to kind of leapfrog them. So I will try and get you guys some more of the portage trail footage, but headed back. I'm trying to hustle here so I can get back where I want and hopefully get a lean-to for the weekend. That'd be sweet with the thunderstorms that are predicted for tomorrow night and Sunday. So hopefully there's not anybody out camping yet besides me. All right, I'm almost to the boat here, so I'm gonna grab that and get heading back the other direction. Made it to the second pond here. Blackflies are swarming me. I got loons for company over there. But that portage kicked my butt, so we're gonna look for the campsite on this pond here. All right, we just pulled up at the only campsite on this pond here. I just got out to check it out, but I wanted to show you guys where I'm gonna be staying tonight. So this is this little pond here. There's my view. And as I said, that portage really kicked my butt. It's a long first portage, so rather than continue on to the lean-to that I wanted to get, I'm gonna stay here. So this is a pretty nice, open, kind of on a point here. Nice breeze. The bugs aren't too bad right now. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem finding some trees for my hammock. It's not in bad shape. There's some firewood. Somebody left there. A little bit of it looks green, but some firewood here. Somebody built this makeshift bench with lots of paracord. A little grill grate. And then there is some trash. Somebody left this tarp and some cloth and that plastic bucket, but overall not bad. So this is where we're gonna spend the night. All right, so we'll get the boat unloaded and pick some trees for my hammock here, and then make sure I got firewood, and then hopefully we'll get a little fishing in before it gets dark here. It's only about 3 o'clock, so I suspect we've got plenty of time to get camp up and do some fishing. Couple nice little spots to get down to the water here. Nice rocky bottom. And the weather, there's my boat just over there poking out. The weather is amazing it's the 13th of May here, and it's 80 degrees. 80 degrees. I don't like it. But I couldn't ask for better scenery than this, and this is the only campsite on this pond, so I got it to myself for tonight. So, all right, I'm gonna start getting camp set up, and then I'll show you guys camp. We'll get a fire going perhaps a little bit later, and maybe get some fishing in. All right. All right, here's the view from my hammock. There's the pond. And if we come to the other side here, there's all my stuff. Boat's down there. Turn around, there's the fire pit. So I think we got a good campsite. Gonna rest. I had to filter some water. Good Lord. I filled my Nalgene bottle before I left the truck, and the portage in here just kicked my butt. I mean, it just kicked my butt. Yeah. Turn the camera. Yeah, so that portage just was terrible. And part of it is maybe I'm out of shape for portage, and this is the first trip of the year, and it's 80 frickin' degrees out in the second week of May. It's not supposed to be this hot up here. Some people probably enjoy it. I would rather have it be cold. It's a lot easier to put clothes on than to take them off. So the heat's affected me a little bit. It's been pretty hot all week. But we got a nice breeze here. It's keeping the bugs to a minimum, considering. So yeah, I think it's going to be a nice evening. The weather's supposed to stay good until tomorrow evening, so we'll have to decide tomorrow whether we stay here or make the portage to the original lean-to that I wanted to get to. So I'll decide that tomorrow after I get a meal and some rest and maybe a little bit of fishing here. I mean, this is a nice little pond. It's quiet. I got it to myself, like I said, so we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna fill up my water bottle here, maybe get some firewood ready. There's a bunch here, some birch bark, so I don't think I'll have to do too much. And get the rest of my camp set up the way I like it, tweak things, get my quilts out and in here and my bug net. And yeah, get all settled in and ready to fish the evening. All right. All right, guys, I'm just about settled in here, so I got my little axe out here, and this is, for anybody wanting to know, this is a Grove Tool Company axe. It's vintage. I restored it. I think it's about 1.5 pounds, the head. And Grove Tool Works was in New York City. So this was actually made in New York. Oh, I'm not sure the exact time of manufacture, but probably sometime in the 40s or 50s maybe. And then the handle is a completely hand-carved piece of hickory that I made for it. And then I've got my Silky Gomboy folding saw. The Silky saws are the best hand saws you can buy. Professional arborist. I use one almost every day. So got my little camp chair, water bottle, coffee press mug, my cook pot there, water jug. Got my gravity filter there. I gotta go fill it up and get some more water filtered. I was a little dehydrated, but I made these tarp posts. I found some sticks, and so I opened up my tarp here and got my bug net all set up, pillow in there. Got my stuff under the tarp here. Food, which I'll have to put away here after dinner, of course, and then just a little piece of thermarest pad. I like this stuff for just a seat, you know, if you get uncomfortable in the canoe, or when you get out of your hammock or your tent or whatever in your bare feet, so you're not stepping on the ground. So that's about it. Uh, and I got really lucky here because it's not a real trip unless you forget something. And I forgot stakes, tent stakes. So these roots here came in real handy for guying out my tarp, and trees were spaced just right. So that worked out really well. And yeah, we're gonna get something to eat here, I think, a little snack. And there's the boat down here. Gonna maybe take a little nap in my hammock here for an hour or so and cook some dinner and then get out fishing for the magic hour around dusk. It doesn't get dark until probably 8:30 now, so got lots of time to eat first and get everything taken care of. So first, had to get this camp set up and ready to go for the night because I didn't want to do it in the dark. But that's going to be a comfy spot to spend the night for sure, with nice views here, pondside, and I'm sure the loons are going to be keeping me company tonight. So, all right, I'm going to fill up my water filter, like I said, probably take a nap here, and I'll get back with you when we're ready to start a fire and have some dinner. All right. Okay, we got a little fire going here, and got some back straps here from last fall that I'm going to throw on the grill. It's way too much for me to eat. But they were frozen together. It was kind of a last minute decision to bring it. I dug it out of the freezer. I couldn't get them thawed and apart to bring half of it. So I got both halves, and I'm going to make them. And the leftovers I'll put in the cooler and maybe have for lunch tomorrow with a tortilla and some cheese or something. So, luckily, whoever was here before stocked this place up on firewood. And there was some hardwood and some softwood, so I was able to get a fire going real quick. There was birch bark here, so that was awesome. I love rolling into a campsite and finding firewood. That, especially after getting your butt kicked on a portage, and you know, maybe being a little out of shape and maybe being a little overpacked for being by myself. But anyhow, I took a nice little nap. It's getting close to 5 o'clock here. I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten, so we're gonna throw these back straps on the grill with some of my own seasoning blend here, and cook them up. And then I got some instant mashed potatoes if I'm still hungry after that, but we'll see. All right, let's get these on the grill here. Just want to take them both out and then season them up. I always like to when I'm doing this. And maybe it's the environment, right? Like the place that you're at has a lot to do with how your food tastes psychologically. So the best deer backstraps I've ever had have all been basically cooked just like this over a campfire with an awesome view. So I have high hopes for these. And I'm sure it will hit the spot once we get them on the fire and sizzling here. And I'm gonna have to go cut me a stick to act as a fork since I didn't bring any tongs. Make sure they're good and coated. A lot of people will under-season meat, and this goes for beef too. When your salt and pepper or whatever you're putting on is only getting on the outside here, especially these are getting seasoned and going right on the fire. So you can go a little heavier on it, and it kind of makes a crust when they go on the grill. That's pretty good. All right, I'll wash my hands quick and then grab a stick to flip those and get to cooking. All right, so I just flipped them. I had to carve myself an impromptu fork here. And I just wanted to show you guys the crust that they're getting on there from the seasoning. Oh, they're gonna be good. Hopefully I don't overcook them and I can get them off there pretty rare. And yeah, we're gonna feast. So stay tuned, they're almost done. All right, we got them pulled off here. And of course, the dang blackflies started swarming as soon as I did. So I'll light my citronella candle here and see if I can't get a little piece, at least for dinner time. But we'll save the reveal here for the camera. I'm gonna let them rest a little bit, and I got my pot of water on the fire for the potatoes. Sour cream and chives, instant mashed potatoes, and venison steak. So I'm just gonna switch these guys here because the little one here is the one I'm gonna cut. Oh yeah. Let me turn it around this way for you guys. And I just got these for all you who are wondering on a piece of clean birch bark here. Oh, that is absolutely perfect. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is amazing. Mm. Yeah, it sure doesn't beat that. Mm. Although I wouldn't mind if these damn blackflies would go away for a little while. Mm. We'll have plenty of leftovers. Okay. What a difference a good meal can make. So I ate a good half of that backstrap and a bunch of potatoes. Don't mind the smoke here. I've got a little bit of a smudge fire going with some green pine needles to keep the black flies away, and it's working pretty well. So I can deal with a little bit of smoke. So yeah, had a good dinner. Got rehydrated here. Got some drink additive, some Mio or something that has caffeine in it, so that pepped me right up. Full belly, and it's still about 6 o'clock. I think we probably got another hour before it gets dusky and starts to cool off, hopefully. So I'm just gonna hang out. Did the dishes, got some water for coffee tomorrow, and I'm gonna go down and get my fishing poles here and get them rigged up in a minute, and get ready to go out fishing this evening. So this pond, I believe, has brook trout in it. I'm not sure what else. I know it's stocked. I don't know if it got stocked this year or what. I haven't really checked the stocking schedule for this year yet. So, but I do know there is trout in here, and it's a beautiful little pond. Like I said, it's to myself. Last year, I paddled through here on my 5-day trip last year, and I didn't really fish it. I was on my way out doing a loop, and so I paddled through here, I think, on day 4 of 5, and just kind of trolled across it once and didn't really try to fish it too much because I was getting out to where I started here to camp for the last night. So it'll be interesting to see what I can turn up here, especially with this weather. It was really warm all this week. The water temperature is not that cold, at least up in the shallows. I was able to wet foot it instead of bringing rubber boots. Whereas last year when we did this trip, the first week of May, so a week before now, we had snow. So we weren't barefooting in the water. But like I said, it was 80 degrees today. It's probably still about 70, low to mid 70s, 75. And so that'll be interesting to see how that affects the trout fishing. If it's too cold, they aren't super active, depending on the species that you're going after. But also if it's too warm, they're down deep and they don't want to play too much. So we'll see. I'm gonna set up a wabbler and probably a woolly bugger leech pattern to start out with, and then maybe put a spinner or something on my other rod to either cast or troll with. I don't know if I'll troll with 2 lines, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, just gonna relax a little bit, get the rods rigged up, and we'll bring you back when I get back out in the boat and do some fishing this evening. Now that I'm fed and rested and refreshed. Couple notes, maybe to myself, maybe to somebody else that's looking at doing this trip, or something like it where you're portaging a lot. Normally, I pretty much pack like I'm backpacking. And this trip, I did not. I went a little heavier. I brought the chair, as you can see. I got my axe over there. And there was a lot of little things. Like I have 4 knives with me, and I was going to leave 2 of them in the car or in the truck, and I forgot to take them out when I was loading up to leave. So there's that. The frying pan. I haven't used it yet. I didn't need it tonight. There was a grill grate. My plan was to do some stuff with that. I've got some tortillas, going to make some quesadilla type stuff for lunch and dinners. And the other reason I brought the frying pan was in case I do catch a trout, I could eat the trout. I don't think I would bring it again on a solo trip. It weighs a couple of pounds, and man, I was feeling every pound on that long portage in to here. So, and even with just my pack, last year I was able to single carry most of this, with my canoe and my pack and all my gear. This year I was not able to do that. I realized very quickly that, my pack was too heavy to also carry the canoe and the little soft cooler that I brought, which is another thing that I don't know. I don't know how worth it that was to bring, but it doesn't weigh very much being a soft cooler. It's the only nice part. So next time, if I'm by myself again, which I seem to be quite often, I think I'm going to go back to the lighter style of canoe travel where, I maybe leave some of the comforts at home. And honestly, I didn't need the axe today. I threw that in at the last minute because it is supposed to rain tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, actually. So I was worried about starting a fire. This wood here that was cut up is bone dry. I mean, it's been, in the 70s or 80s all and sunny all week. We haven't had any rain. So, yeah, I probably didn't need the axe. The silky saw is nice and light. It's handy. It's compact. I'll probably just stick to that in the future and not bring my big axe, or maybe I have a little bit smaller hatchet that I can bring just for splitting kindling or whatnot, if I really want one. But I think some of that stuff is more for trips where you have multiple people, like the frying pan. If you have a couple people that you can cook for, it makes more sense to bring a little extra like that. By myself, I think I'm going to go back to more dehydrated, freeze-dried type stuff that doesn't require refrigeration and is easier and faster to cook when you're by yourself. So, all right, enough of me yakking at the camera here. I'm gonna go get my rods rigged up, and the breeze is calming down. The water's looking like glass. The sun's getting low, so I think in the next half hour here we'll be able to get out fishing. Well, I'm out here trolling. The GoPro is on the fritz. I guess something's up with the SD card, is what it's saying. So, I'm back to videoing on my phone. Got the rod out here. And just poking along, kind of following the shoreline, enjoying the peace and quiet. So I'll bring you back if we get one on the line here, but it's not the footage I had hoped with the GoPro, either from the bow or off of my head mount, but see if we can get it straightened out later. All right. All right. No fish tonight. I saw a couple jump, but no real action. I trolled back and forth and crisscrossed it a few times and got snagged a few times and, kind of got sorted out here. So back at camp, obviously here, got the fire going. Just gonna hang out tonight. Try and get an early morning tomorrow. And I'm still sort of undecided about if I want to stay here or try and get that lean-to. Pulled the boat up here. For anybody that's wondering, and I'll talk about it again, but Adirondack Canoe Company, 14 foot, weighs 25 pounds-ish. It's a beautiful boat. Moon's up there behind that big white pine. And the lake pond is like glass except for whatever little aquatic insects are out there swimming around. I think the blackflies are finally going away here. Just beautiful. So I guess that's probably it for tonight. I will get back with you guys bright and early in the morning and see if we're gonna pack up and move to try and get the lean-to, or just do some more fishing and exploring from here. See how I feel when I wake up, I guess. So, all right.